Hi, my name is Matt Nuccio. I am the president of Design Edge, and we're a toy and game development company. We design toys and we invent toys. And today, I'm here to play the United Inventors Association's Toy Hub trivia game. All right, question one. Why did I get into the toy industry? Well, it really isn't so much why, but sort of how. I was sort of forced into the toy industry. I grew up in the business. My father was in the toy industry since before I was born, just working at a toy company as a creative director. Eventually that toy company got bought and everything got moved to Chicago, and we were from New York. My father did not want to move to Chicago, so we started Design Edge out of the garage, and I was drafted from day one. It's the old school days of design and development, so I was laying down register tape and cutting things out with X-Acto knives and building foam core models and doing a lot of floor sweeping, a lot of getting of coffee, and a lot of incorrect lunch orders that I had to run back and pick up. So that was my introduction to the toy industry. That's how I got in here. Which are the most iconic toys that you have worked on? Well, you know, even at my young age, I've been doing this quite some time, and I was in my early 20s when we worked on Tickle Me Elmo, we worked on Pogs, the Power Glove. Then, you know, lots of iconic brands from Barbie and Transformers to Monopoly and Sorry and Trivial Pursuit. You know, in some way or respect, we've worked on a lot of the main toys of the last, 30, 40 years, whether it be package design, concept ideation, product design, engineering, model making, cell sheets. A lot of our clients are the massive toy companies like Mattel, Spin Master, Hasbro, but we also work with startups and newbies who want to get their name into the market, and we use our connections to help them get in front of buyers and get them launched. What is the difference between an invention and an idea? All right, well, an idea is something that you just sort of thought of, right? An idea needs to be fleshed out. You need to really study the market, look around, go online, see if it's been done, and then once you've sort of solidified that, hey, I've got an original idea. Well, to make an invention, you sort of have to build it. You have to prove it out. There's no shortage of ideas, but there is a shortage of solutions. So if you go to a toy company with just an idea, it's a good chance they're going to pass because, they have their own internal teams. But if you bring them a solution, well, you've cut out a lot of work for them. So they're more likely to take it on because you're saving them money and you've got something that's proved out. And if you bring them just an idea, they're not going to want to invest in trying to figure out how to make your idea work. Should you license or self-produce? Well, this is a good question. It's sort of timely. If you'd asked me 20 years ago, I would have told you need to license because in order to get into retail, you need vendor numbers, and it's very hard to get a vendor number. And a vendor number is sort of like your membership to sell to Walmart or Target. It's a lot of paperwork, and retailers don't like to take on a lot of vendors, so there's very limited amounts of vendors to each retailer. But as we all know, in the last decade plus, Amazon has become a marketplace that just about anyone can get on. And if you have a really solid product, it's good to be able to produce it yourself, get a bit of a track record, get some really great Amazon reviews, get it into the hands of lots of reviewers, and then either you can decide to push on and continue and grow and start your own company, or you can turn around and license it to a company and have some proof of concept, which is very appetizing. But of course, you can still always go to things like People of Play and pitch your product to toy companies and go that route as well. There's no right or wrong question. It's really, what can you weather? Do you want to be an inventor or do you want to own a toy company? You can be both. So what was my favorite toy growing up? I guess this talks to my destructive nature, but crossbows and catapults. I used to like to build things up and then smash them to smithereens, and something I watched my kids do also, so it must be genetic. But yeah, I really, to this day, I would love to just build up a wall of something and shoot a puck through it if I can. So that was my favorite toy. So parting advice for some inventors out there is, there's no line drawn on what an inventor is. You can own a toy company and be an inventor. You can license product as being an inventor. You can be a businessman and be an inventor. You can be anything and an inventor. So don't feel like just because you're an inventor, all you have to do is sit in your basement and tinker and show people stuff. You have many options with that. You can build an entire company off of your invention, or you can build an entire licensing program off of your invention. It's really up to you and what you're willing to withstand. So there's some words of wisdom. At least I think so.